is Yvone Kilama, and I'm delighted to be with you at this time. I'm glad that we are together at this time. We are in a season where Corona has changed things upside down, as my son likes to put it. Things have changed, things are not normal. People have fallen sick, lives have been lost. We have been locked up in our homes. For the past many days, I have had to do homeschooling in my home, doing Bible stories and Bible studies with my children. The situation is not normal. And while we go through all this, we are grateful that God has helped to have some lives get recovered. People are getting healed. We thank God for those who are the front line of this battle, the medical workers. And I pray that we continue to ensure that we keep the guidelines that are given to us by the medical teams. So we also need to find solace in God. I know for some people the disease is not exactly what is causing hopelessness. We have a lot of anxiety, anger, despair that comes with this kind of season. Let us pray that God helps us to see the reason for this season. While we may be shocked that this disease came, God was not shocked. In fact, God allowed for this disease to happen. Let us not miss the point for this season. We may go through tough times. We may be at the verge of despairing, but God is still God and he reigns. I'm reminded of the verse in Psalm 23 which speaks about God being our shepherd. Even in this season, he is still our shepherd. He will take care of us. He will sort our issues out. He will take care of our every business. None of this is bigger than him. Let us focus on the greatness of who he is, because he is indeed greater in every sense than what we are going through. I know for some people, it is not just this disease. We're thinking about food. We're thinking about fees. We are thinking about how shall we survive even as we go through this. Indeed, when Psalm 23 speaks about the valley of shadow of death that we go through, he speaks about this and it is real. Some of us are going through a situation of hopelessness, of despair, of not knowing what is coming ahead. The economy is not very certain. Things are not certain, but we are anchored in the hope that God is with us, that God is with us. And because God lives, we will hold on to that fact and know that he is in control. Psalm 91, a similar verse, speaks about he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Look at this contrast, the shadow of the Almighty as opposed to the shadow of death that we just spoke about. The shadow of the Almighty is the place of preservation, the place of refuge, the place of strength, the place of protection, the place of sustenance. And look what can happen when we actually anchor ourselves in God. So this is our hope, that the God who is bigger, the God who is stronger, is holding our lives. Indeed, like my children sing sometimes, they say he's got the whole world in his hands. May we hold on to that fact, that God is in charge. He is bigger than this corona. He is bigger than the anxieties we have. And this same Bible tells us to cast all our anxieties unto God. Let us give it all to him. I call upon you to get into that position of surrender, and you surrender all this to God. He sees the end from the beginning. He knows what is yet to come. Let us rest in the assurance that he is still God and he's in control.